Hello everyone. Today we are going to read a new story, and the name of the story is The Fisherman and the Goldfish. Now, before we start this story, there is another small story which is given here, and this story I suppose most of you must have read it when you are younger, and the story is The Woodcutter and the Fairy. I will tell the story in brief. You guys can read it on by yourself. So this is the story about this woodcutter, and he was cutting trees in the forest when he drops his axe into the lake. Now fairy appears and asks the woodcutter if the golden axe was his, and the woodcutter replies, "No, it is not mine." Now again the fairy asks, "Is this silver axe yours?" So the woodcutter replies, "No, it is not mine." Now the fairy asks if he shows him his own axe and asks him, "Is this axe yours?" So the woodcutter replies, "Yes, it is mine." Now the fairy, she becomes very impressed, and she says, "You can have all three of these, and this is your reward for being honest." Well, this story that we are going to read today has something similar. It has a magical creature, and it also has something to do with honesty or dishonesty. Now let us see which part actually it has. So the story starts with a visitor. Visitor is the narrator, and the narrator, he is standing on a beach, and he is looking at the big ocean, and he sees that there is a small broken down hut, and he is wondering who may live in that hut. And suddenly the door of the hut opens, and a fisherman comes out, and the fisherman is carrying a fishing net. Now he walks up to the visitor. Now the visitor wishes him, "Good morning, are you going to be lucky today?" It means that he asks him, "Do you think you are going to catch any fish?" So the fisherman throws his net into the waves, and he says that, "I hope so, because I have not caught any fish for weeks." And he says this, and he pulls the net back carefully and looks at it carefully, and all that is there in the net is mud, and there's more mud and more mud. And the visitor sees the look of disappointment in the fisherman's face, and he encourages him, "Why don't you try again? Why don't you throw the net again? Maybe you'll catch some fish." So the fisherman says, "Yes, I should." And he throws the net again into the waves. The visitor asks the fisherman, "Acha, Mr. Fisherman, do you live here alone?" The fisherman replies, "No, my wife lives in the hut, and she is very angry because I have not caught any fish." And saying this, he pulls the net again. Now when he pulls the net, he sees that it is heavy. For a brief second, for a brief moment, he is happy. Then he notices that there is seaweed, and there's only seaweed in the net. Now for those who don't know, seaweed is basically a plant that grows in the seas and other big sources of water, like for example lakes or oceans. You might have seen seaweed if you have ever been to the Chilika lake. Okay. Now the visitor sees again that the fisherman is disappointed, and he encourages him, "Why don't you try again? Maybe this time you will catch a fish." So this time the fisherman is angry. He says that, "Oh, I'm not going to catch any fish. If you are going to stand here and talk only, you are frightening all the fish away." Okay, well, the visitor, he apologizes. He says that, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to go away," and he goes away. Now the fisherman, he again throws the net into the waves, and he says that, "Well, I hope this is the third time, and let me be lucky." Here you can see the fisherman, and he is holding his net, and from the look on his face, you can see that he does not look very happy, does he? Well, so he again throws the net into the waves, and He pulls the net in. Again there is nothing, and there's nothing, and there's more nothing. But wait, there was something. A fish there was. And he says, oh, I have caught a fish. And oh, it's a goldfish, right? So a goldfish, for those who don't know, is a small fish which looks golden in color. To see it, you can Google it. And well, he holds the goldfish by the tail, and he says, you are such a small fish, we cannot eat you, but well, you are very pretty. Well, we can put you in a bowl and we can watch you swim. Maybe that will make my wife happy. So just as he says this, the goldfish starts talking. He says, oh great fisherman, I am in your power, but if you let me go, whatever you wish within the hour, I'll make it so. So the goldfish says that, oh fisherman, I am at your mercy. Means whatever your life, my life is in your hands, and if you're going to let me go, then whatever wish that you make, I'm going to fulfill that within the hour. The fisherman is obviously afraid, right? Will you not be afraid if a fish or a dog starts talking to you suddenly? A dog, let us say, starts talking to you suddenly if you're walking down the road. The fisherman says, a talking fish? What a wonder of the world, but I'd better let you go as I've had enough bad luck already. He says, oh, you are a talking fish, this is such a wonderful thing, but I'm going to let you go because he thinks that if the fish has magical properties or it is something divine, then killing it will bring more bad luck. And he throws the goldfish back into the sea. Now the scene resumes back at the broken down hut of the fisherman. The wife asks the fisherman, "Arey, husband, have you caught any fish? Did you catch any fish?" The fisherman replies, "Oh, you're not going to believe this. I caught a goldfish, and he was not an ordinary goldfish, he was a talking fish." And the wife asks, "Okay, and what happened?" The fisherman says that he asked me to make a wish. The wife is like, "Acha, so?" The fisherman is like, "I threw him back into the sea." So at this point, the wife gets angry. He's like, "What? I don't believe this. The one chance you had to get something and you threw it away." He scolds the fisherman that you got one chance of getting us anything that we wanted, and you are such an idiot, you threw it away. Now the fisherman, he gets scared of his wife. He says, "Arey, but he was a magic fish and I was very afraid." A wife is like, "Afraid, be afraid, idiot. Go and call that fish back and say that you want a wish, and tell that stupid fish that I need a new cooking pot, and don't come back home till you get it." So the fisherman gets scolded, and he goes back to the waves of the ocean, and the waves are murmuring gently. Means the waves, I think you all have heard how the waves make a sound, and here is a small song that the waves make. We rise and fall, we rise and fall, we are the waves of the sea. We see it all, and we know just what will be. It's a beautiful little poem. And the fisherman, he goes near the sea and he's like, little fish in the depths of the sea, my wife wants a wish, will you grant it to me?" He goes and he summons the fish, he calls the fish. So the goldfish appears in the middle of the waves. The fish says, "Air, sand, water, fire, what does your wife desire?" Desire means want. So the fisherman is like, "Oh little fish, believe it or not, but my dear wife wants a cooking pot." He says, "Acha little fish, aap believe karoge ya nahi, but my wife wants a small cooking pot." And the fish is like, "Oh, so may it be, now go and see." Now the fish grants the wish of the fisherman. After that, the fish goes away and the waves come together with a loud clap. Means the waves make a loud sound, and the wife comes running out of the hut. Well, that is it for today. will the wife do you think the wife is going to get the cooking pot, or the fish will have given her something else? Well, we'll find out in the next video. Until then, thank you for watching. Bye bye.